Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Today we're going to continue our coverage through the Young Jedi Knight series. We are on the next book in it called Darkest Night. This is also by Kevin J. Anderson and Rebecca Moesta, and still in the year 1996. And of course, I have it collected in my lovely The Rise of the Shadow Academy omnibus of the series. So this is the second to last book of the first arc, and basically what happens in this one is Jason and Jaina go with Loey to the planet Kashyyyk. His sister Sira Kirk, I think is how you say it. I don't know. Basically, she's going to take part in this Wookiee ritual, and Loey is very worried for her, because there's been some history of death, and so or severe injury, so he really wants to ensure that she's good. Throughout this series, you kind of see, like each of the four main Young Jedi Knights that kind of have like their own, like a book that kind of spotlights them. The last book we saw was Tenel Ka. This one is clearly Loey. And so it's kind of interesting, but the book is actually, even though it's focusing primarily on Loey, the book is actually named after Zek. Brackus sends him and a bunch of the Second Imperium Shadow Academy goons over to the planet Kashyyyk. And an interesting thing about in the expanded universe, Kashyyyk is attacked multiple times. You see it in books and comics, and heck, even in the movies, right? So I don't know, but we have another Kashyyyk invasion or Kashyyyk invasion. And so Brackus basically is arguing with Temeth Kai and basically saying, like, Zek is great. He's gonna do great, and it's basically like Zek is trying to get like some like I don't know, like he's trying to get some like awesome student that he can be like, I trained him, I made him who he is. He's so great. Look at him. And Temeth Kai is like, no, he's not. He's not that great. And so that's kind of the back and forth that they're having there. Like I said, this is more on Loey and the twins than it is that. Zek will actually end up dueling Jason and Jaina, and in this he will reveal that that the Shadow Academy is in fact planning to attack Yavin 4, the Jedi Praxium. So be ready for that. And so he kind of shows he's not fully gone to the dark side yet, because he will lie to Brackus and will say, "Oh no, I killed them. We're all good." And Brackus is like, "Oh, good, my darkest night." And this poser who's trying to be like the Emperor of Palpatine or whatever is like, "Oh yes, Zek, you're going to be my darkest night." And it's basically like, the book basically is, it's more setting up the next one. This one to me is one of the weaker ones. It's similar to the Lost Ones, I would say, or maybe even Heirs to the Force, where it's a bit it's not bad, but it's not super great. It's definitely setting up the finale. I don't think there were going to be any more Jedi Knight or Young Jedi Knight books, at least at this point, when Kevin J. and Rebecca Moesta were writing it. So I wonder if they were trying to quickly get to the next book and get like this epic, grand finale. And then obviously there were going to be more books, so perhaps they could have stretched it out had they known. But yeah, it feels very much like, yeah, we're more just telling this because we have to get to the end story. And the next story is very, very good. I'm looking forward to talking about it. But Darkest Night isn't essential. Obviously it is if you're reading the Young Jedi Knight series. I think it is. I don't think you'll be totally lost with it. This book actually was the one that my school library did not have until later. So I read it after I'd read the majority of the other books. So I just kind of knew that, oh, okay, I guess this is what they're doing. They're going to attack Yavin 4. And we'll talk about that more in Jedi Under Siege when we get to that book. But, I do think it's an essential read, though, in this series. Is it for the entire EU? Probably not. But like I said, not a bad story, but definitely one of the weaker ones in this first arc. And maybe in the whole series. I don't know. We'll have to think about that as we go through. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, my friends, and I will see you next time with another episode. and we'll talk then.